So where are you?
Well, I was at Whole Foods.
No, no, no. Now, are you in your house or your apartment or your house?
Got
Or
home.
where's all your thousands of roommates?
Yeah, a little place, my little kitchen back there. And,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. There's the altar or the wedding
yeah, the
cake.
altar, and then where's Milo.
Hey Milo. Oh yeah. There's the bunks.
There's the pup on the bed.
Aw. Where's your boy?
Which one?
Okay. So how you been? You psyched?
Yeah. I mean, in between being freaked out, I'm psyched.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We're all flying in. I'm flying in 31st. Me, the assistants, is flying up from New York. Yvonne's flying in from Vancouver on the 31st. We're meeting. We're all kind of getting an end of the day.
In
St. Albans, Vermont.
Oh, you're gonna do the casting up in St. Albans.
Yes.
Oh. Tell me what's gonna happen day one.
I'm just looking at you.
What?
I'm just looking at you. Okay, day one. We're like I said, the 31st. That's a Thursday. That's when all the parties arrive in Vermont, including I'm hiring an assistant. His name is Chris. He's coming up from Vermont. I mean, from New York.
Ah.
First, we have to make the statue. It takes 2 weeks to make the statue.
Oh, okay.
Friday, which is the 1st of June, I have to get together with Mark Prent and my assistant, Chris, and Yvonne will be there, but he's not really necessary. And we're going to do all the prep work. There's a lot of pre-measuring I mean, this uses a technique in body casting that I've never used, which is a silicone mold. I've never used a silicone mold. It's very expensive. I mean, it's like the supplies for the mold, because it's specially formulated to be safe to the skin, because silicone isn't. So this is a skin-safe silicone, which this guy Mark Prent has actually manufactured himself. He has his own supply company.
Cool.
Of body casting materials. He makes the silicone. He makes an alginate, which is what I normally use. Alginate's like a very cheap material, relatively cheap, and it's disposable. I mean, it's the method I've used because it was what I could afford, and it was kind of on my level. I mean, I can get a beautiful cast out of alginate. It's on a different level than silicone. So we have to measure a bunch of supplies. We have to measure. It has to be measured out. It'll save a lot of footwork the next day when we actually work and we make the cast. We make the mold, rather, of Yvonne. He's going to be done then that's Friday. Then Saturday all day, we do the mold of Yvonne. I think they're going to start from the bottom and work up. So we're going to do probably. I mean, he has to hold his position because the David is a statue. It is a pose.
Right.
So he has to. The feet. I mean, the legs are in a pose. There's this contrapposto, which is an Italian term, which means counterposition, counterbalance.
Okay. Position is what again?
Contrapposto.
Can you spell that?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay, I'm gonna put. I'll put a placeholder here. Have you thought of like blogging, or I mean, starting like keeping a journal, or maybe I should do that for you, or?
Well, I mean, I'm not a blogger really. It's like I'm more of a visual person. I tend to blog with images. So when there's something new that I can show, I tend to put it out there. But when it's just like writing, today we did this, we did that, I felt really bad or I felt good. I'm not a diary keeper.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I tried doing it. I just don't, nothing comes.
No problem.
So, but I'm visual. So when there's something visual, I put it out there. And actually what I'm thinking of doing was when we start this, I'm going to like update the Facebook page like every day. With, that top image, it's like it's a banner image that goes across the top. That I'm gonna revise that on a daily basis. With the first few days will be Yvonne being worked on, and then it'll be the construction of the cast piece by piece. back to the day with Yvonne. Like I said, we're going to work from the legs up. So he'll probably be cast waist down one side, and then waist down the back side. So that's two. And then there's a torso front and a torso back. And I don't know how Mark intends to do the arms. If the arms, I think he can do the arms in. I think he said he can do them in one piece. He doesn't have to do them front and back. He can do them together.
Let me go back a little bit with you. So when you do the lower half, you said waist. You mean are they laying on one hip and then the other hip? They're laying on one side and the other side. Maybe you said
the front and the back.
Okay, but they're laying on the side, or they're laying on he's laying on his stomach, and then he's laying on his back.
No, he's standing up.
Oh, he's standing up.
Yeah, he'll be in position of.
Okay, okay.
So he's in the position, and
all your models are laying down when I see him. I guess that's because you haven't.
Never are my models laying down.
What is that one? He's laying on the floor.
Where they're laying
is that guy with the cowboy hat? Is that Yvonne in the red Speedos?
Yeah.
Why does he look different every time?
Because he's got many looks.
Yeah, he does have many looks, doesn't he? For real.
He has a short hair look. He has a long hair look. He's got his hair long right now because I told him to keep it long.
What color is his hair? Doesn't matter, right?
He's a dirty blonde.
Is this going to be? This is just going to be what cast like in a white, off-white something.
Oh.
The color of the finished statue is going to be an off-white or.
I don't know. I mean, the plaster is a grayish white, and we're going to finish it with something. I want to keep it looking as marble-like as possible.
Okay. How about the head?
And then the head is last. The head is done in two pieces, front and back, and that's last. He said that, depending on how Yvonne feels, or I guess maybe depending on how we all feel, it could either be done the next morning or it could be done at the end of the day on Saturday.
The head.
Yeah. I think we'll end up doing it at the end of the day. I mean, I think Yvonne will be ready to go. We'll all just want to have it all done. There's a guy that's making me a sling in Vermont. He's making it out of clay. And he was going to make me a sling out of leather.
What's the sling for?
Well, if the David is holding a sling.
The slingshot. I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
okay,
the slingshot.
Yeah, the slingshot.
The biblical David who's about to go fight Goliath, which is great for me because I don't know how to get this. I don't know how to get a hold of this kind of stuff. I mean, it's a cast. It's not like we could make it look. We could use anything almost. We could use fabric and just turn it into what we want it to look like. But he's making a sort of something out of clay and plastic. He said he was going to use something out of rawhide, out of a deer hide or an elk hide or something. And I'm not really into animal hides.
You wear leather?
But I don't wear a lot of leather, and I'm very conscious about it.
I'm just curious.
So when we finish all these molds of Yvonne, which will be Sunday morning at the latest, probably Saturday night, then Yvonne's work is done. And he's bringing his girlfriend, I think, who's going to be shooting some video. And
he's afraid to be with some men or what?
No, absolutely not. Yvonne is the gayest, friendliest. He'll be naked around a whole group of men. I mean, Yvonne is completely liberal.
Common or comfortable.
Comfortable. I mean, he's one of the most. He's been photographed nude by I don't know how many photographers, and I'm sure 99% of them were men. So he's completely comfortable with himself. He's completely comfortable with his own sexuality.
I want to get to the road part, the travel part.
Okay.
That's what I'm curious about.
Okay. All right. Well, then skip ahead past the 2 weeks of construction.
So what happens in the 2 weeks? It cures?
No, it's not about the curing. It's about putting all these pieces together. And then we create a base, which is also something I forgot. I mean, that's another topic. On the base, what I want to do is have a kind of clay that doesn't set so that it remains malleable. And what I want to do is have people sign, carve their insignias and carve their signatures into the sides of the base, the four sides. I wanted people to be able to sign the base, but this way they can actually engrave the base. And then at the end of it, something will be done to cure the clay, and all those signatures become, a permanent part of this project.
So now, if fact is, people could see this in a museum. So what's the point of taking it on the road?
Well, it's a publicity tour. It's a look. If I weren't an unknown, I wouldn't have to take it on the road unless I just felt like it.
Okay, see,
But
I
I'm
need.
not known in galleries, and I'm not known by anyone in the art world except for the people that know my work on my website.
Okay, so where does this when you get to a town? What happens?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be figured out as I go. I mean, I'm gonna have this thing hitched on the back of a U-Haul truck. I've been looking into covering the U-Haul truck because it's kind of tacky. Drive a classic statue around in the U-Haul truck on a U-Haul trailer. So one of the things I'm looking at is if I can find a sponsor who will pay for the draping of the truck to have it covered with like a mesh or canvas draping
Mm-hmm.
with the company logo as well as the David graphic,
Mm-hmm.
so that I don't have to, so that nobody has to see that it's a U-Haul truck. A private truck would be perfect with a private trailer. I purchased one, and I don't have a way of renting one otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to use U-Haul. I'm gonna take an extra copy with me.
Oh, you're making two.
I'm making additional. I'm making two, right? And the second one is gonna land somewhere, which I don't know where yet. I'm thinking maybe in the New York area because New York, but not in
Tough,
New York City.
tough media.
I mean, I would love to plop it down in Central Park, but that's almost too
In New
obvious.
York, you know what? In New York, it's not going to make a difference. So one of the things we did, I think I told you, was like we did it in Newark, New Jersey, and we had the New York media cover it, and it was fantastic. Not for you to go to Newark, but I mean, like, I do know the librarian, the publicity librarian in Newark, New Jersey, very well. I just, I just, I mean, and it's a very beautiful. It's well located. If David were to show up right outside the library, and Fox, not Fox, CNN knows. I can
Yeah,
say that CNN knows about it.
yeah. Well,